Yeah. Hello, I'm Peter. My background is computer science, and it's very impressive to be in Belgrade because when I was a student in computer science, most often I was the only one who was interested in data science, and now some years later we see a lot of people, young people, who are interested in data science and in this topic. And for today I have the chance to talk about AI and global trade. Both topics, the key sectors where we're working on now, so global trade since 20 years, and for sure everything which is related to data, and the whole AI topic for us becomes also very important. And therefore, I take the chance and hope I can provide some information to the audience, which maybe is also interesting for you. The agenda for today is really a little bit special because I have one point where we take the human intuition, so means I need you for this talk. And then we will see how good humans are, and spoiler, you're really good. Yeah? So to become closer to humans is really a challenge. And then we will see, okay, what does it mean in our world, how AI can help us, especially in the global trade sector, and also some where maybe the similarities to other projects. Let me give you some information about global trade and what is the main challenge. When we simplify it, we will say, okay, global trade is 80 to 90% a classification problem. Global trade means we have to bring physical goods from country A to country B, and every time when a product goes over cross-border, we have to classify it. It means there are hundreds of classification systems around the globe, and for sure, each classification system has thousands of categories. So, and as a manufacturing company, they have hundreds of products, thousands of materials, and then you see the challenge. Yeah? For sure, the question comes up, okay, especially with AI, how AI can help us to classify materials and products. And this is a challenge. And this is also a little bit critical, because depending on this classification, there's a lot of legal regulation. The taxes depends on the classification. Is it allowed or prohibited? This depends on the classification. Therefore, it's really also a sensitive decision. And when we classify materials, and therefore, on the one hand, it's time-consuming. You have a lot of experts who are working on it, and on the other hand, you want to be correct. You don't want to assume this is my classification, or we want to know it. Okay. What we're doing now together, where I need you now, is we have a small experiment. I will show you an image of a product and give you two classification options. Okay? So what does it mean? We compress the classification. We assume we are on this stage that a classifier already pre-selected two options and have to decide. And what we're doing now is we quickly decide, is it the class on the left-hand side, or is it the class on the right-hand side? And we simply raise the hand. Okay? So it means the good thing is we have two training rounds. And, as I said, I expect that humans are really the challenge. Okay? So, okay, let us start. This is example. This is the image, tent or toy, and you raise a hand. Tent or toy. Okay? Okay? Okay, let us do it. And 1, 2, 3. Tent or toy? Tent. Okay, great. Remember it? Next one. Tent or toy? I will say, okay. So this was our training round. Question now why we have to decide between tent or toy, what we have to learn for the classification. this is a lesson learned for the real tree rounds is use is more important than property. Means if I use a product as something, then this is the right classification. If you go back to our tent or toy question, this tent can be used as a toy, therefore it's a toy, not a tent. Okay? So, and this is the rule we apply, and we want to try to implement, and we want to follow. This rule is one of multiple rules, but it is very common. And when you are in the real life, you have multiple products who have this situation that you use it. It looks like a class, but you use it somewhere else. Yeah? So this is one piece of the classification problem. Okay, now we have 3 images. Okay, the intuition is an important one. Don't stop thinking. Just follow your emotions, yeah? Your intention, but you think what it is. Okay, so soup or shampoo? Body wash. Is it soup or shampoo? Okay. Okay, I will say, I remember a lot of soup. Okay, next one. 1, 2, 3. Shampoo, soup or shampoo? Okay, last one. 1, 2, 3. Body wash, soup or shampoo? Okay, you see it. Yeah. So, and this is one of the challenges we see in product classification, that we have to classify the product. Let us assume 80% are clear, we really struggle with this 20%. And this is one example, and now I see it, yeah, and you also feel it, yeah. It's a moment when the question comes, sometimes it's pretty easy, yeah, and then, wow, stop, yeah. And this is what I call the human factor. Yeah, this is what we normally need, and this is what humans doing. Yeah, they see something and they're very quick to say A, B, and then saying, okay, wondering. Now I'm wondering, and now I dive into details. And this is a challenge we really have. Yeah, that we say when we automate something that we can go into this direction to say, okay, I have multiple signatures, somehow it matches, somehow it not. And to bring this human factor into a system and into a classification system, this is a real challenge. Okay? So the fun part on this, every one of you was right. Because the answer depends when I ask the question. I choose this because when I asked this question on 17th of October 2022, at this day, the German customs decide that a body wash, hair and body wash, is a soap. We had this exact same material description on 12th of May 2023, and the German customs decide it's a shampoo. So we see that we have rules of interpretation which are really subjective. Yeah? It's not objective. So, and when we check on the documentation, on the data we have, why this both is possible, we will see that the German customs provides a rule, a classification decision on 2022, where they say, okay, hair and body wash is a soap. So what was happened then 2 months later, EU regulation clearly says hair and body wash have to be classified on shampoo. And therefore, on May 2023, the same material becomes classified by the German customs as shampoo. So, and now, when we go in the world of AI, and we follow the normal classical way of loading documents, work, yeah, we will find documents, legal regulation for both possibilities. We will see, okay, I find a decision from the German customs on October 2022, and I find something on German customs on May 2023. So, and what is the difference? In the middle, EU. So now we come to the next level of legal text, that there are conflicts. There are conflicts, and one option to solve it is first to detect the conflict. The second step is to try to understand what is higher. In this example, it's more or less easy because EU regulations have more power than national regulations inside of the European Union. Therefore, whatever German customs decide, the EU wins. But you see it when you're working with language models, that this kind of rules are very hard. As to say, okay, I found something, I can explain why, I can make some reasoning, and now I have a second perspective, and in the second perspective is completely different. Now I have to tell you as a model, okay, haha, if you found an EU regulation, it beats the national one. So, and this is a common case. Nearly each product, not nearly, a lot of products we have end up in a similar situation. And this is also kind of the concept, or kind of the conceptual issue, because the economy is so much faster. We design new products, we implement new features, and the classification system is updated regularly, but for sure it's behind. So nobody was foreseen that we have watches who also measure the blood pressure. So, and we have this material, we have this product, we have to trade it, and we have to classify it, but there is nothing concrete. So this is a special situation we see multiple times. When we see this challenge and see also what is the technology, how language models, how AI behaves, I will say the real difference is, or the tendency of a language model is to try to give you an answer. And so when I go to Copilot, Microsoft Copilot or something like this, and I ask a question, they have the tendency to give me a concrete answer, to provide me a number, to provide me a decision. They also give me a clear explanation why. But in such cases where it's not clear, you have both possibilities, this human factor to say, oh, no, this is what we miss. And from design perspective, also what we see is that AI solution language models have the tendency to provide definitive answers instead of going and saying, whoa, sorry. Here I don't willing to answer, it's not clear enough for me. So, and this is what I see, or what we see is one tendency, and this was also what we had in the last couple of months, where we was working on how to solve this and how to detect this situation when there's more than one option. So why this is so important? I call it the trust factor. The real problem, and as a user, when we use a system, is the trust. When the trust is gone, I don't use it. Means when I don't trust my car, I don't use my car. When I don't trust a classification system, I will not use it. And how I should trust a classification system where I cannot distinguish between correct and wrong answers. And as I said at the beginning, we have thousands of this kind of decisions. And what does it help if I have, let us say, 80, 90% accurate answers, but I do not know what is the 10%? What is the wrong? When the wrong decision looks like the correct decision, I have to review everything. I have to review everything, and the trust is gone, and let us say, at the very first moment, they will use it, but over long distance, I assume that the user will go. Especially in this sector, where a wrong decision can mean you have to pay penalties. Or maybe you're also blocked from the authorities to doing this. So therefore, the trust factor is the ultimate goal. The solution we provide, or we want to provide, we provide to our customers, they have to trust them. So this is, and what was the outcome of 2024, also this year, how it goes forward and how we archive this situation is that at the very beginning, for sure, a lot was inside of AI, a lot of these questions was situation we try to handle with prompts, with logic, with training sets, whatever. But the current tendency is it goes to a more hybrid setup. Hybrid setup here means that we, besides the language model is one piece. There is also years old a rules engine and a constraint solver, so that the language model can really focus on the situations where they are really good. So in example, rules engine, EU regulation beats national one. EU is stronger than it's a clear rule, no need to bring this in a language model or in an AI solution. Constraint solve, simple example, importing a car. Is this a truck? Is this a heavy truck? Does this have tonnage of higher than? You have clear criteria, clear constraints, and therefore this constraints model. And this combination of large language models with rule engines and constraint solvers for now looks like we can go into this direction to say, okay, that we become more close to human, but we're not a human. So what is the effect? What we see in this implementation, what is the effect to language models when we're using language model in a hybrid environment? What is the difference from today to the situation we had 10 months ago? 10 months ago, we had very complex prompts. Now the prompts are very, very simple, very, very focused on concrete questions, and they become really specific. So we do not try to solve on AI or on language models high-level questions. It goes really deep. This is deep here means is that we split the text into sentences, and then in example, we check the sentence. Is this sentence context independent? Means a car with 4 wheels and heavy low tonnage of a truck with 4 wheels and a tonnage of up to 10. So it's pretty clear it's a closed sentence. Sometimes you have a sentence like other trucks. It's clear you cannot understand this. And this concrete question, to understand what we're talking about, very specific prompts, and the LLM can really focus on these concrete questions. What we also see is we fire a lot of prompts. So we see the factor is 10 to 100. We have to see where we end. But with this hybrid model compared to a more AI or really AI-focused model is that we see a lot of more prompts we fire. But on the other hand, the model size becomes down. And so what we see is, and we're trying to implement, we try to solve the problems with bigger models, we try to be more clever, and now we've split it into pieces. What does it mean is that the model becomes smaller. Again, we can use smaller models because they're very focused. And what is the value for users? We have, for sure, automated classification. What I show you here was each cases. There are simple cases where you say, okay, I have a shampoo, the shampoo is. We have a car, we can simply classify it. So this is what we can automate. And we can identify the situation where in classification you have a high chance to be wrong. Because, in example, the rules engine beats the language model. So when they say, okay, here I have multiple signals, I cannot rank your results, we say, okay, nothing. And what is the real, for customers, what is their benefit, time saving? So we have to assume that there's every time complex cases, we can never automate. So to say we reach 100%, we can automate 100%, I don't think this is doable. Therefore, this space is too complex, especially for the next couple of years. But we can clearly say, this is what we can automate, this is what we classify with the system, and here we stop. So this gives the users a chance to focus on this one where we stop, where we say we don't willing to classify this situation, this material, and now they spend the time on this one. And the second thing is that we have the possibility, or the user has the possibility that they trust the result. Yeah? Better to ask the user instead of saying sorry. Yeah? This is for us. This is for us the goal, that we say, okay, when we made the decision, when the system made the decision, the user can trust it. And therefore, looks like with this direction, we definitely become much better. And we reach this balance between automated classification and manual classification. And that the automated classification is very, very secure. Okay. I had 20 minutes, my 20 minutes over, but thanks to the speaker before, I had more time than expected. As next, I want to give you an introduction to PST, but if there's any question, maybe we can go to the question right now. Any question to the setup? No? Okay. So what we're doing at PST, we support big companies who have global trade. By statistics, at least 50% of you uses in the last 2 days and product which was traded with PST data. So it means what we have to provide to our customers is clear data saying, okay, this material costs you 5% duties, this is allowed, this is not allowed. When you try to buy this from this manufacturing company in this country, you can do this in Europe, but you cannot do this in US, because in US this manufacturing company is blocked, or the government don't like them, whatever, there's some cases. And what is the ultimate goal of the customer? For sure, that they make automated decisions. In the field of global trade, you have to make so many decisions related to legal regulations. You cannot make each decision manually and go to the paper. So therefore, there's a software system which, in example, classifies the materials, but they need clear rules. So what we call our business regulation to business. So we have to follow the authorities, we have to understand the text, the legal regulations, and bring this into machine-readable data. The use case most often is what we had for now, customs tariff, means what I have to pay when I bring this into a country. The second thing is export controls. For sure, there's a lot of dual-use materials you can use for military or civil use. There's a lot of regulations right now, so license rules, and what's the last thing, sanctioned parties means when authorities block a company and didn't allow you to have business with this company, which is most often a foreign company. Yeah, this is about the topic. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we can. You can reach me.
Thank you very much for joining us. This is for you. Thank you. Peter Piehler.